Hello, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make the edging of the Ruffled Waters shawl if you are using a gradient yarn like a whirl. Uh, that's what I used, and it got a little complicated to make the edging because the colors were changing gradually, so I had to make my edging as I made the shawl, and I could not do it at the end. So I'll give you a quick tutorial of how I did it. This may not be the best way to do it, but this is how I did it and it worked for me. The edging looked much better than the edge of my shawl looked much better than it looks right now. So this is a small swatch that I have, and I'm going to start making the edging right now. And this is how it looks. It's not bad, but I'll show you what I did and then you can see what the difference is. So to begin, I'm at the beginning of, I just completed the previous row, and it is a row of knit stitches, and I will assume that this is where my yarn has changed color. So every time my whirl changed color, after every 4 or 5 color changes, where you find that fuzzy yarn show up, that is where a color changes in the whirl. I think there's one strand that changes color, and after about 4 or 5 is when I made one section of edging. So you will see what I'm saying. So I will assume that that has happened and I'm ready to make my edging, a portion of my edging. So this is the beginning of the scarf. I'm sorry, the shawl. I started here. This was my 7th chain, and so this, I'm going to call this the forward pass side and this the reverse pass side. So this is my forward pass side, and I will, before I start making my my forward pass, I'm going to make the forward pass edging. So I will pick a regular crochet hook of the same size. So I was using a 5.5 millimeter hook for my Tunisian crochet. I'm going to pick a 5.5 millimeter hook for my edging. So I will move over this loop into a regular crochet hook, and I will then chain one. So here it is, chain one, and then I turn the project so that this part is at the top so I can work on it, and then I single crochet into the first stitch. So this is the first stitch of the previous row. So if you look at it this side, this was the first stitch that we usually skip. So I'm going to turn around and I'm going to make a single crochet here. And then I'm going to continue making single crochet stitches on the first stitch of every, so if you turn it around again, and you can see that the first stitch of every row has these 2 vertical bars, this one and then this one and then this one. So I'm going to pick both of those for every stitch and continue making my single crochet stitches. So I was on row 12. I completed 12 rows, so I should have 12 single crochet stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 11, and that's the last one, 12. So that's 12 single crochet. And now I need my yarn back at this end so I can continue making my forward pass. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the project around, and I'm going to make slip stitches in each single crochet stitch I just made. So this is the first one. I'm going to insert my hook, slip stitch, and I'm going to make loose stitches. I'm not going to keep my slip stitches too tight. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So if you see this edge, this is what it looks like as compared to, say, for instance, this is the reverse pass one. So this is a lot more well defined, and it gives a nice structure to the shawl. So now I'm going to place a stitch marker here. You will know why later. So in this was my last slip stitch. I'm going to put a stitch marker and now slip stitch into the vertical bar of the where the first so here this is where I made my first single crochet. So I'm going to slip stitch into the vertical bar of the first stitch. So I'm going to pull this down a bit, locate. Yeah, this is a little hard to do. Okay. There it is. There's the vertical bar. Of my first stitch, and I make a slip stitch. So that becomes the first stitch of the next row in Tunisian crochet. So at this point I'm going to move the loop over to my Tunisian crochet hook, and I'm going to start making the forward pass as I would have normally made it, assuming that this is my first stitch. So I'm going to start making my stitches from here. So I'm going to make a couple of rows and I'm going to make this row so that I will end up here, the forward pass of this row, and I will end up on the side, and then we'll make the edging of the reverse pass side. So I'm going to do that and come back. I'm at the end of the forward pass of row 13. So there are 12 rows before this, and I made this stitch all the way until one before the last stitch. So this is the last stitch. I did not make the last stitch of the forward pass. Now I'm going to move these a little bit back and insert my hook into the last stitch, just as I would make the last stitch of the Tunisian crochet forward pass. And I need my nails for this one. Okay, so I yarn over, pull through, chain 1, and make a single crochet. Excuse this noise, it's this hook hitting the table. so that's one, and single crochet into every last the last two vertical bars of every last stitch from every row. So that's two, there's three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10, 11, 12. So there was 12 rows, so 12 single crochet stitches, and then we turn our project and make slip stitches all the way back. So that's, oops, yeah, the reverse pass gets a little hard. It's harder to make a video with it because of the hook hitting the table, but that's the first one. So one, two, three, four, five. I made the first few very tight, but I would normally not do that and make them loose. It's a very awkward position for me to hold this hook while filming, but please make sure that these slip stitches are not tight, otherwise that will affect the structure of your shawl. So this is and I think we're at 12 now. So once we're at 12, so now slip stitch into the vertical bar of the last stitch. So this is where we made our first single crochet. So find that last vertical bar, insert your, so that's the vertical bar that we made the single crochet in. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, and then put that back onto the Tunisian crochet hook. So that will count as the last stitch. So you can see that this is how the reverse side edge looks. So now you can just make your reverse pass normally. And remember that this is the spine here of the shawl. This will always be the center stitch, and keep moving your stitch marker so that you can easily identify which stitch it is. This pattern is beginner friendly. If you see that there's very simple stitches used to make this, but it's easy to make mistakes. I had to count on every row. I could not count because I would run into incorrect number of stitches if I did that. So this is what it looks like. This is the reverse side edge and this is the forward side edge. Again, this will correct itself we will see how to fix that towards the end. So this is what it looks like. I think it looks much cleaner with this edging, but if you feel like you don't want to do this, that's totally fine, and that will not affect the structure of the shawl or anything of that sort. So it's totally okay to not make it, but if you want to make it, then this is how I did it. So for the next sections, oh, I forgot to put the stitch marker here. So you're supposed to put a stitch marker at the last, so the 12th. So that's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. That's the 12th slip stitch. So now after you make a few rows, you do the exact same thing when you find that you want to make another section of the edging. You make a few more rows, you do the exact same thing, but instead of like we just turned around from here because this was the first time we were making the edging. Over here, when you make the next section of edging, when you reach here, you'd have to join with this stitch again with a slip stitch before you turn and make your slip stitches. So after you make your single crochet while coming the side, join it with this stitch here and then turn around and make your slip stitches all the way back. And again, when you do that, mark your last stitch with a stitch marker so that you can, for the following section of edging, you can use that. Same goes here on this side. When you're making the next few rows here and you want to continue making the edging, and so what you'll do is you will make your single crochet stitches all the way till here, then you will join it with a slip stitch with this stitch, turn around, make slip stitches all the way back, and when you go all the way back, then use a stitch marker to identify that last slip stitch again. So that's how I made mine. It works. If you know of a better way of doing this, I would be happy to learn it. So please bring it to my notice. Please let me know. And if you do use this edging, please show me how it turned out for you, or please share your experience. Thank you.